Welcome back to my channel. For today I have a exciting video. I wanted to film this for so long. Yes, I filmed this one time, but I deleted it after a month. By the way, as you can see from the title, I'm going to share with you guys my converting story, my converting to Islam. And I deleted that other video because it was like really short after I converted. In that video I included a lot of information that I rather keep for myself and private than here on the internet. By the way, if you see cat hair on my hijab, it's because I have a cat. Literally everything is covered with cat hair and I cannot get rid of it. But first, a little disclaimer, excuse my English, it's not the best. I'm still working on it. I really want to have it better, but yeah, we are doing it with this right now. I know it's not perfect, but yeah. So let me first start off with the question I always get and where people are confused with is that they always think that I've been Muslim my whole life. I've been actually an atheist my whole life. I've been raised, I am half Dutch and half Moroccan, and my parents got divorced when I was 3 years old, so I lived with my mother, and my mother is an atheist, and I lived my whole life as an atheist. I didn't believe in any God, in anything, just in when I would die that there would be nothing. Some people would say, but you have born like a Muslim, but I don't think so. Especially when I did my research and did a lot of, I looked into Islam, I find out that it's not just saying I am Muslim, it's more than that. So I don't feel like I've been Muslim. Absolutely not, because I didn't even believe in it. So yeah, I was an atheist, and alhamdulillah, I'm now Muslim. So how it went, I did have contact with my father, but not that much. And with my Moroccan family, which are Muslim, my whole life I didn't had, yeah, just a little bit of contact. I would see my father sometimes a year. I would not see him for a year, or then sometimes I would see him every month, but then I would see him 3 years not, or yeah, that's how our relationship was not really close. So everyone around me is just an atheist, or I don't even know, but never would talk about religion. I just lived in a Dutch neighborhood with almost no Muslims, so that was my surroundings, and I would never think about what is there more. I would never think about that. And sometimes when people would ask me, do you believe in a God, I would be like, no, I believe in the science. I believe in that this together with this created this and this and this. I was always really interested in astronomics, and also just in the earth and in sea and in tornadoes. I also want to include that a little bit more on my channel because I'm so obsessed with that. So it would be awesome to include that also on my channel. But so I did kind of, I'm not saying that I know a lot about it, but that made sense for me, that there was nothing more than what I knew. My life was just like the average teener girl living another life as what I'm doing right now. And you hear often that people that convert that are really looking for some way or something that they are missing and something like that, but I was absolutely not. I felt like I was not missing something. Now I do know that I was missing something, but at that moment I was not really curious. I was, I do have to say, like, as I told you, I was really interested in looking up on everything that has to do with this life. So the earth, the universe, and all of that. So what was also really interesting to me was religion. So I wanted to do, one time in my life, I wanted to do some research into that, but it was not really a priority. I was really busy with everything, but I had it in my mind already for a while. And then I got to know some people around me that were Muslim and that were really close to me. So I was kind of getting interested in knowing what these people believed in. And I was really like, how can you believe in that? I was getting really interested, like, how can you believe in that? And I also started to think, like, how can so many people in the world actually believe in it? So I started to get interested in just knowing about God, and not especially the Islam, but just in all the religions. I wanted to also, how can you judge something about something if you don't know anything about it? Started also saying that to myself. So yeah, I started doing, looking up to the Islam, and I came across this video, and I think it was the first thing. Yeah, well, the first thing that happened, something happened in my life, was really affecting me, where I was really sad about, and I had these stomach aches a few years back that were so extreme. I cannot explain how that feels. Like there are knives in your stomach and you cannot move, because if you move you will die. That's how it feels. And I went to the doctor for that, and they told me that that's when when you stress extremely, like really extremely, you can get that. So I did not get that anymore, because I knew that was just me causing that. Something happened at that time, and I got that stomach pain again, which I didn't had in a few years. And I got that, and I walked into my room, and it started to come up, and I knew that always when I would get that, it would stay there for like a minimum of an hour or longer. At that moment, I did not know how to pray. I just went down to the ground and I asked God, if you are here, can you get rid of this pain right now? And I went up, and it was totally gone. Like, it only stayed there for a few minutes. And when I did that, I came up and it was totally gone. I'm not saying that that's really a sign or something, but it was just at that moment I came up and I was like, okay, that's really weird. But I was not like, oh my God, yes, that's God. I was not at that moment like, okay, I believe. But it was just a weird thing. And why I'm telling you guys this is because a lot of these kind of things started happening in that time. So I wanted to include that. So yeah, that night I started to look up on the internet, on YouTube, about the science of the Islam, because I know that some people where I've talked about Islam and religion, they would tell me, why you're not Muslim, and I would be like, I believe in the science. How do you explain this and how do you explain that? And they tell me it's all in the Quran, and I would be like, yeah, sure. Have you read that, or have you just heard of that? I would not believe it. I would always think like, that's just another, yeah, I need to see proof. I did not believe all of that. But then I started to look up on the science, and that's just when I was till the middle of the night. I think the sun was already getting up, because I was looking up to in the Islam the whole night, because this happened. So I was looking up, and I was looking at a video. Oh my God, I'm just going to include these things where I'm going to talk about what I've seen into my description box, because I know the last time a lot of people asked me to include that. So now I'm thinking about it. I will include everything that I was looking into down below. So I was looking at this documentary, and it was all about the science. The Quran is 1400 years old, and there are things in there that scientists are finding out right now. When I finished the video, I was still looking at my computer, like what I was always doing, finding excuses or finding reasons, not excuses, but reasons why is what. So I was really looking like, okay, what can I say about this? What can I explain about this? And I was really like, okay, so the only thing that could come up in my mind was like, there is a time machine, and they brought this book back in the time. But that sounded so stupid to me. And also, because of that, I was looking into all these things, I was thinking like, I was never really aware of how perfect everything was made, and how everything is made, and how everything is here. I never was aware or really was thinking about those things, because I thought, yeah, it's just normal. We are just here and it's just like how it is. I started to ask myself, like, yeah, how can I actually think that that's just made out of nowhere? So that's when my mind could not say anymore, there's nothing. I literally said out loud, okay, what? There has to be more. And at that moment, I was not like, okay, I believe in this is it. But I was like, my mind started opening, like, there has to be more, or there is something I do not know about. I felt like I watched every video about Islam on YouTube that exists. I was just diehard looking into it. I went to I had a collaboration with a hair salon, and there was a Moroccan girl, and I had no one around me where I could talk about this. Well, I had some people, but not really, yeah. Not a lot of people around me where I could talk about this. So every chance that I would get when I saw a Muslim, I wanted to talk about it. So I was there and I told her about, and that I was really interested, and that I really felt really good about this. And yeah, but I didn't know what to do and what to do more, if she had tips for me. So she told me about another girl. Hold this. I need to include one more thing, that when I was still looking into everything, I also watched a lot of converting videos, stories from other people on YouTube. Well, basically, he talked about what really did it for him was a book that he read, and that was about scientists that converted to the Islam. And I thought that they could not believe in religion, but this is a book about scientists that convert to the Islam. So I was really like, okay, I need to read that. And I went on Snapchat and asked all my followers everywhere. I asked everyone to look up for this book. I think I even showed the video, that part where he talked about it, and people were sending me articles, everything, but not that book. I could not find that book. And normally when I need to find something, I'm really good at doing research, and I can normally find it, but I could not find it, like nowhere. So now we are going back to the hairstylist where I was, and I was talking about the Islam and all of that, and she told me about a girl that was going to classes in the mosque. So she told me, should I connect you guys? We made plans to meet at the masjid to follow one class, and I went to a store in Rotterdam. I knew that there were a lot of those shops with those long dresses, and I went in there. So this lady showed me some dresses, and I picked 2 dresses that were so ugly. Oh my god, I still have it, but I've only put it on that time, but after that it stayed in my closet. It's just like, it's for like a really old lady, that dress. It's it's really weird. It's not pretty, but yeah. So I put that on and I went to the masjid. I put a scarf on. I didn't know how to put that on, and I had a ponytail underneath it, so you could see my hair coming out of it. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so I came there and they were like, oh my god, that's so cute. And I was like, is this a good dress? They were like, yeah, it's not really for our age. And they were laughing, like, and they helped me with everything. And so we had this class, and I'm telling you, I did not understand anything from it, because half of it were like words in Islam, and like alhamdulillah, I didn't know what that meant, and like those kind of things, and a lot of Arabic. And I was just looking, like, I loved listening to it. I didn't understand anything from it, but I was just it felt really good that I was in the masjid for the first time, and that I was doing this, getting to know more about it. So it felt really, really good. So yeah, we had that class. There was one prayer, I think it was Maghrib, and that was the first time I really saw a prayer. Yeah, I've seen that one time when I was in Morocco. I was doing this, but I thought they were just doing something that they wanted to do. Like, I didn't know that there was a whole way to pray. I was looking at it, I was like, really like, oh my god, I can't wait till I will stand between them and also pray with them. it felt so good. I'm telling you, it was just a magical time. It just went out of nowhere, and no one around me was telling me, yeah, you should do this and this. It was all myself. My heart and my mind, my feelings took me to do all these, make all these steps. It's just really, alhamdulillah, I really believe that Allah opened my heart for this, and He wanted me to, oh, alhamdulillah. Like, I feel like really proud and really thankful that I got this chance. So when I talk about it again, I know how lucky I am, and when I go through all of this, I feel really special that I got all these signs and all these things that happened, and that I got chosen to, that my heart opened for this. Like, I cannot explain how that feels, but anyways, when this lesson, this class was over, we were still talking a little bit outside, and then she was like, oh wait, I still have some books for you. And she got like a whole pile of books, and on top of that book pile was the book where I was doing die-hard research for I think a few weeks. I wanted that book so hard, and she just came like with that pile, and on top of that, that was just the book. Seriously, when I went back from the masjid every time, because I started to take those classes, I didn't want it to take off my hijab. It felt really good to wear it. And I actually ordered a few scarves on AliExpress just to look at myself with a scarf on. So when they came in, I was really excited. I went in front of the mirror and started to put it on. Like, how will this look on me, on my face, on my head? So at this time, I was going to the masjid really often. Not only for those classes, but also for just when we sisters would come together and eat together and just talk about Islam. I really wanted to do everything. I wanted to be as much as I could in the masjid. I was only on my computer and reading those books and going to the masjid. I was totally like, I don't want, like, obsessed sounds negative, but it was a really good obsessed. It felt really amazing. After a time, I was really like, yeah, this all is making sense. I just know it. I believe it. I know it. This is what I've been missing. So then one night at a Friday, we would again come together and eat and talk about Islam. And yeah, I went to the masjid and we were like introducing ourselves in a row, because we were like only with like 10 girls, and all of them were like, I think only one of them was just always Muslim, but the rest were also converts. A lot of them were Dutch, and yeah, so we were going through this circle, and they were like, I am blah blah blah, and I've been converted to the Islam for 14 years right now, and I am so and so. Then it was my turn to introduce myself, and I was like, I'm Laila, and I'm looking into Islam. I've been not converted yet. They were all confused, and I explained, and my current situation at that time, like how I felt about it, and they were like, so what is holding you back? They told me, what is holding you back? And I was looking at her like, I don't know. Maybe they were like, is there something you are not sure about? Or is there something that you do not believe? So they were like, so why do you not say the Shahada right now? Why do you not convert right now? And I was like, yeah, is that possible? Can I do that right now? And my heart started bouncing. I don't know why, but I was kind of like happy, nervous, like really, really happy, really happy. Because that's just something I really wanted to do for weeks. I wanted to do it die hard. I wanted to go to the masjid and just say the Shahada, and just felt like, that's what I needed to do. So I said the Shahada and I came back, and all the ladies started hugging me, and I cannot explain, like, I felt so freaking proud of myself, and I felt like at peace, like this is it. So yeah, I converted 1 year back now, in January, so a little bit longer than a year. That night I also walked out of the masjid, and I was really like, it felt just really bad to take it off. Like, why should I now take it off? I told my father, by the way, totally forgot to oh, I'm all over the place. Every time when I explain this to anyone, I'm all over the place. But my bond with my father, at that time, when I started to look into Islam, I started to call my father and go to my father to talk with him about this, because that was really the person where I could really talk about this. He was really happy to talk with me about this because he didn't want to, because he was never in our lives. He explained me now. So he didn't want to push us or tell us what to do. So he felt really bad, like my daughters are going a totally other way as that he wanted. But he also don't want to like push us farther away to tell us something that we have to do. He was just really happy. He was every time like, he was just so freaking thankful to Allah that this happened. And that also motivated him. And that's how our bond grew so much. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm really happy and thankful to that. Really. To have both my parents in my life. I called my father, but he didn't pick up. So I sent him a voice message. And then he called me later. And we FaceTimed literally for 4 hours. And he told me he started crying when he heard my voice message. So... really thought I was not going to get emotional because I talked about my story with so many people, but still it's just something that changed my whole life and where I'm so thankful for that's just making me emotional every time. A week after I converted, the lady from the masjid, she invited me to go to her house. I asked her if she could help me with the prayer. I really wanted to learn a prayer. And so I went there with a hijab on. And when I was leaving, I told her, I'm going to keep this on from now. I'm going to walk out of this door with this on and I'm not going to take it off anymore. Never. So yeah, that's the moment. A week after I converted. So actually all of the timestamp between when I started to look into it and convert and wear the hijab was only 4 months. But that was enough for me. That was just enough for me. And then I want to say that my mother, a few months later, it was Ramadan and it was my first Ramadan. And wow, that was just an amazing, amazing experience and an amazing month. And let me look, in 3 weeks, it will be Ramadan again, inshallah. I'm really excited. I'm really happy for it. I'm really looking out for it. And I'm really proud to say that my mother did the whole Ramadan with me. And she went with me to the masjid. And I went for the first time, I prayed Tarawih. I don't know how to pronounce that. But so me and my mother made plans to go together to the masjid. And I told her, but there's a really long prayer and if you want to stop, you have to just tell me in between so we can stop. And so we started praying and really, oh my God, I don't want to cry. I'm not gonna cry. But just that feeling, everyone has their own choice to what they believe and what they choose in their life. So I'm really like, I wish this for them. But I also respect like who they are, of course. I'm so thankful that my mother was open to go with me to the masjid and that she did Ramadan and that she prayed with me. And I was praying and I quickly looked like I should not do that, but I was just looking like, and I was really in my mind like, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I just literally saw my mother praying next to me. That's just... And in between I asked her like, should we stop? Do you want to go? She was like, no, let's keep going. So why I wanted to include this into my video is that you should have sabr. Basically that. Patience. Patience and just show the world what it does to you. And of course we are never perfect, but this really motivates us to get the best out of us. And if people around you see that this makes you happy, they start to support you too. And I wanted to just say that to people that feel like that are just really scared for the opinion of other people. So that's my story. I think now I told everything. I have to, because I have been talking so much and it's going to be really hard to edit. But so if you guys still have questions, if there are a lot of questions here down in the comments, I will film a Q&A video about this. If there are not a lot of questions, I will just answer them in the comments. So make sure, if you want to see a Q&A, to let me know in the comments down below, and by liking this video, and to put the questions into the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.